The answer is writing things down. Sitting down with my iPad literally took me from being a type B person to type A. I went from being kind of a mess to having my life together. According to online, type Bs are outgoing, creative, but usually all over the place, while type As are ambitious, competitive, and have a strong drive for achievement. I was born type B, and my soul, my person will always be type B. I now look and act like type A. My name is Anu Dio. This video is a part of my Get Your Life Together series where I help you figure out how to get your life together and really just live your dream life. Let's start with tip number 1. Starting off really strong, we are going to use writing to define our goals. This means sitting down with a pencil and a paper or your iPad or whatever to answer a bunch of questions about where you see yourself in the future. What do you want for yourself? Why? With who? When? How? Just really answer questions to really define your best self. This works to take you from a type B person to a type A because it takes the abstract goals and ideas that you have for yourself and it turns it into something that is a bit more structured. So now you can see in front of you a complete blueprint to help you figure out what you have to do. I have a complete video on the questions that you need to answer and ask yourself when you are trying to figure out your dream life. Those questions have really helped me, so I definitely recommend you going to that video after this one. So an example of this in my life is when I had the goal, I wrote down in my planner of my goal of finding the absolute perfect apartment for my boyfriend and I. I wrote out exactly what I wanted. Like, it had to be south facing for my plants, it had to be a certain size, it had to be within our price range, of course. You know, a good sized kitchen, a balcony, and close to a good gym. And I genuinely believe because I wrote all of that down, I can picture myself living in that apartment. That is why I live in the current apartment that I'm living in right now. I literally dreamed it into happening by sitting down and making this a goal of mine. And to be honest, my type B self back then would have never done this and she wouldn't have known what she was doing when she was looking for an apartment. So my journey to being a type A person has led me to this beautiful apartment and I'm so grateful for it. Number 2, we are using monthly, hourly, weekly schedules. By allowing you to figure out the timing of things, because type A's are never late, it makes sure that you're getting everything done. Let me break it down why you need each one of these 3 different types of schedules. With a monthly schedule, this allows you to figure out exactly how each month will go, what to expect, and what to prepare for. With a weekly schedule, this allows you to set daily priorities to get your weekly tasks done. And then an hourly schedule enables you to use every minute of the day wisely. You'll be able to see exactly where you can fit in each of your priorities and actually get them done. My example of this one is if one of your broader goals were to become a fit person. Of course, a type A person always prioritizes their fitness and their health. You can use number 1, the monthly schedule to systematically plan the progress and the progression of your fitness and where you want to see yourself in the next few months or the next quarter. Number 2, the weekly schedule allows you to see what days of the week you intend to work out on and how. For example, in my life, I schedule my weekly workouts to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On Mondays, I make sure to do upper body, Wednesdays, lower body, and then Fridays, cardio. And then lastly, daily. For this, you'll just be able to make sure that you have the time in your day to actually get to the gym. For me, I write down the hours of the day. It's actually included in my morning routine if you watch my last video. When I wake up, I do a couple of things and then I do my workout. And you can see like from 5 to 5:15, I wake up. From 5:15 to 5:30, 6:30, I do my cleaning, whatever. The next hour I set for my gym time. And that has been so helpful because I know once it hits this time, I'm gonna be in the gym. There's really no question about what time I have to be there or when I'm gonna make it. Using the monthly, weekly, and hourly schedules have genuinely allowed me to be consistent in the gym. That is what my type A version of me does. She goes to the gym and she prioritizes the gym. Number 3, which is planning out what you envision for yourself. This is similar to the first one of writing down your goals, but this step goes one step further where it allows you to break down each of your goals into actionable steps. This is a type A action because, of course, when they set out for a goal, they're gonna get that goal done. They're gonna make sure that there's a plan in place to allow them to actually fulfill their dreams or fulfill where they want to be. A personal example of this is I have an Etsy store, and as a type A girly myself, I have made the goal of wanting my Etsy store to become one of the best on Etsy. Why would I start a business and not be the best at it or be my best at it? I made the goal of creating an amazing Etsy store. Then I created a business plan surrounding it. My goal is to do really well and sell my products, but I've made it actionable by creating steps that will allow the store to be best selling. So for example, some of the steps that I created when I was making this business plan is I wanted to make sure that number 1, it always looks professional. You know, it's updated with my logo, you know, curated graphics, things like that. I set up steps that said, number 1, I have to do the work on the graphics. Number 2, I have to work on my logo. Number 3, you know, I have to go back on a certain day every week to update my store and make sure that everything's looking good. And then after that, work on something like marketing or making sure that my brand is getting noticed and getting out there. By the way, wink wink, you guys should check out my store. I'll link it below. Because I was able to create this plan around it, my store has gotten a good amount of buys. And I definitely have to say that it is because of me sitting down and saying, okay, I need to set up a day where I'm going to look at the logistics behind my store, find out why things aren't working, find out why they're working, and actually fix those problems. That is what a type A person does. They sit down and they do the work. They write out the things that they need to write out to make a plan to become better. Let me just take a sip of my water. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves and having some tea or some water and taking care of yourselves along with me in this video. That's so important. Okay, next is having a gratitude journal. If you look up the side effects of having a type A personality, it's that you are a perfectionist and you want things to go a certain way. I would say having a gratitude journal allows you to go from being a type B person to a type A in a sustainable way. Because as we know here on my channel, self-care and mental health is super, super important, and we never put anything over that. Like, if we can be type A and not have to deal with the side effects of being type A, why aren't we doing that, you know? So if you can add this time for gratitude, writing in your journal the things that you are grateful for and the things that you're happy for, this will allow you to become a happier person, which will then in turn permit you to be type A and get your stuff done without having any bad side effects and actually being happy. I'm sure you already know what a gratitude journal is, but some ideas or some things that you can talk about are what makes you happy on a daily basis. When you look around in your life, see what you can point out to be things that you have always wanted or things that you've done that you have always wanted to do. Number 5 is journaling. Okay, I know we just spoke about journaling, but that was specifically gratitude journaling. And on this point, I'm talking about the type of journaling that you do when you just have so much going on in your brain. You need some type of thing that will allow you to get all of your feelings out, get your thoughts out, and make your brain be more clear and unfuzzy. This type of journaling takes you from B to A because when you have so much going on in your mind, it doesn't allow you to focus and actually get the things done that you want to get done. If you're able to journal well, you find that it allows you to successfully sort your emotions and your thoughts in a way that permits you to take on anything that comes your way. And as you know, a type A person can deal with any random thing that comes in their way. You can deal with all of the hard stuff that you will have to deal with because you have made these choices and allowed yourself to have an outlet to get your emotions out. An example from my personal life is I am what you call an HSP, also known as a highly sensitive person. That means that I am very sensitive, I'm very emotional, and I need something that will allow me to process my thoughts and be able to move on when something happens. So yeah, when I sit down and I'm able to have this release of being able to journal and control my emotions, I no longer have to be debilitated by the things around me that are stressing me out. I can genuinely just move on after having a good journaling session. I know it does come from practice because I know at the first time I started journaling, I didn't see the results right away, but I would say consistently journaling has allowed me to really create this type A version of myself. I just want to say that the beauty of this video is that even though you will always be a type B person, the same way that I will always be a type B person, but now we have the techniques to take us to look like type B to type A, because to be honest, I want to keep my creativity and my outgoingness and not have to worry about the perfectionism that type A people have to worry about. We kind of now have the best of both worlds. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys got some good ideas from this. Genuinely, my life has changed by writing things down. I know I look like a type A person. Like, I know that's what you see. So all that to say, I know that you can be type A as well, or look like type A, or not even that. You can get your life together. You can do whatever you want to do. I believe in you and I love you, and I can't wait to see you guys again. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this, it helps me so much. Okay, bye.